Good afternoon. You would have already had a class on molar pregnancy, also known as vesicular mole or herediform mole, when you were discussing abortions and MTPs. Herediform mole comes under a broad heading of gestational trophoblastic neoplasia. There are various disorders under that heading, one of them being choriocarcinoma. It's a malignant transformation of molar pregnancy. Gestational trophoblastic disease is a spectrum of proliferative abnormalities of trophoblasts associated with pregnancy. During embryology, you must have already been discussed with the cytotrophoblast and syncytiotrophoblast. So these gestational trophoblastic disorders are abnormalities of these trophoblasts. So what are the conditions which come under gestational trophoblastic disease? They are herediform mole, both complete and partial. Invasive mole, when this herediform mole invades the uterine wall. Choriocarcinoma, which is a malignant transformation of vesicular mole. And placental site trophoblastic tumor. So gestational trophoblastic neoplasia have been staged by FIGO. In stage 1, the disease is confined to the uterus. When it extends outside the uterus but is limited to the genital tract, like adnexa, vagina, broad ligament, it is known as stage 2. Stage 3 is when GTN extends to the lungs with or without known genital tract involvement. And stage 4, all other metastatic sites like brain and liver are considered under stage 4. So choriocarcinoma is a very highly malignant tumor arising from the chorionic epithelium. It is not a tumor of the involved uterus. That means the uterus is initially not involved. It is the chorionic epithelium which has got a malignant transformation, and uterus is involved secondarily. So about 3 to 5% of all patients with molar pregnancy develop choriocarcinoma. So trophoblastic disease following a normal pregnancy is either a choriocarcinoma or placental site trophoblastic tumor, and it is not benign or invasive mole. So whatever trophoblastic disease follows a normal pregnancy will have to be either choriocarcinoma or a placental site trophoblastic tumor. So what are the types of choriocarcinoma? It can be either a gestational choriocarcinoma, non-gestational choriocarcinoma, unclassified choriocarcinoma. So gestational choriocarcinoma is the one which is related to pregnancy. This is the most common form of choriocarcinoma. It further can be divided into uterine choriocarcinoma, extrauterine choriocarcinoma, and intraplacental choriocarcinoma. So uterine choriocarcinoma is the most common. It develops in the uterus after either herediform mole or abortion or a normal delivery. So also choriocarcinoma with normal pregnancy has been reported. And extrauterine choriocarcinoma is developed primarily at the place of ectopic pregnancy, and intraplacental choriocarcinoma is found in the placenta mainly after delivery. Non-gestational choriocarcinoma, it's a choriocarcinoma of the germ cell. We will be dealing with the germ cell tumors when we will be dealing with benign ovarian tumors. So this type of choriocarcinoma arises from subtype of the germ cell tumor which develops in the ovary. It's more resistant to chemotherapy than a gestational tumor. Like when we were discussing vesicular mole, you must be remembering that it is amenable to chemotherapy. However, if it is a choriocarcinoma, non-gestational choriocarcinoma, usually they are resistant to it. And choriocarcinoma derived from other carcinomas, that means involves that choriocarcinoma is changes of other carcinomas. So it can be gestational, non-gestational, and other types of choriocarcinoma. So gestational choriocarcinoma is a malignant neoplasm composed of large sheets of biphasic, markedly atypical trophoblast, and there are no chorionic villi. Whereas in the hybridiform we could see chorionic villi. So gestational choriocarcinoma can occur subsequent to either the molar pregnancy, which is the most common ones. Like 50% of the molar these cases have got a preceding history of molar pregnancy. Abortion, 25% cases. Normal gestation, 22.5%. And there can be ectopic pregnancy preceding gestational choriocarcinoma in 2.5% of pregnancies. So rarely in intraplacental choriocarcinoma is diagnosed immediately following pregnancy. So what is the pathology? The primary site is usually anywhere in the uterus. It can arise anywhere in the uterus and later on can invade the myometrium also. So classically it's a soft, fleshy, yellow-white tumor with marked tendency to form large pale areas of ischemic necrosis. Foci of cystic softening can be seen. At times it appears very highly vascular. It can be dark. It can be seen as dark red, blackish or purple mass with hemorrhage, and sometimes patient has got a very huge amount of hemorrhage in these cases. Sometimes these growths superficially resemble that of the placental polyp, but in case of choriocarcinoma, it usually always infiltrates the wall of the uterus, whereas a placental polyp is clearly demarcated from the myometrium and can be easily detached. So choriocarcinoma does not necessarily develop primarily in the endometrium, and it's not uncommon for its growth to start in the myometrium in the deeper tissues of the uterine wall. So sometimes there may be a nodular type of choriocarcinoma which may be located deep in the myometrium, with the overlying endometrium being intact. This often gives the false negative diagnosis of whenever we do uterine curettage, and the diagnosis of choriocarcinoma in these cases may be missed. And primary choriocarcinomas of the uterus may sometimes erode through into the broad ligament or peritoneal cavity and cause profuse bleeding into the broad ligament, or it may cause enlargement of the uterus to such a degree that the fundus of the uterus reaches upwards to the level of the umbilicus. So metastasis occurs early in cases of choriocarcinoma, and dissemination usually occurs by the bloodstream. That is, it's a hematogenous spread. So microscopic appearance of this one is usually composed of sheets of anaplastic cytotrophoblast and syncytial trophoblast with absence of chorionic villi. So absence of chorionic villi will be there in choriocarcinoma, whereas they will be present in cases of vesicular bone. So there is necrosis and hemorrhage. Tumor extends into the myometrium, and the metastatic lesions which are present are also hemorrhagic, dark red or black red in color, and well circumscribed. So usually the classic pattern of choriocarcinoma has been described as biphasic, bilaminar or dimorphic. The alternating arrangement of mononuclear trophoblastic cells and syncytial trophoblastic cells also characterize the choriocarcinoma.